Well, hello there. Thanks for joining us. You're watching New Vision TV. I'm Lynn Komjisha. Let's take a look at the news. Many Ugandan students or journalists who in recent years were selected to observe elections say of the United States would be shocked to learn the importance Ugandans attached to the so-called Commonwealth observers who came to observe the 1980 December 10th elections, while parties and the UPC were saying elections were rigged. Everyone waited for the final verdict from the Commonwealth Observer team as if it really mattered that much.
As Milton Obote sought in to become president of Uganda for the second time in his life, the country waited for three important reactions. First was that of Paulo Semogerere, the man widely believed to have won the elections. Second was that of Yoweri Museveni, vice chairman of the Military Commission and leader of Uganda Patriotic Movement, who had vowed to go to the bush if the election was rigged. Third was the report of the Commonwealth Observer team. Ugandans were then still relatively unschooled in diplomacies. Many had expected the Commonwealth team to issue a clear-cut verdict, like a judge in court who says either guilty or innocent. But instead of the Commonwealth observers saying the election was either free and fair or rigged, they released a lengthy, winding document that disappointed the eager audience. Many Ugandans who are opposed to Obote and his UPC thus went for Christmas in a state of confusion and disillusionment. The Commonwealth observers dwelt on the stunning success of a country which had had its systems broken down by the military regime for almost a decade, being able to organize such a modern election. The Commonwealth observers were also impressed that with poor logistics like transport and communication, the country had been able to distribute voting materials to all corners in time. The observers were also impressed that millions had gone to the polling stations and cast their ballots without being prevented by the government forces. So the Commonwealth observers concluded in that language, which now most African countries are familiar with, that given the circumstances, the elections were held in at a relatively acceptable standards, and that by and large, the results to a large extent reflect the general will of the electorate, and so on and so forth.
Moving on, President Yoweri Museveni is looking forward to a serious national dialogue and is very happy to take part in it. The dialogue will be about political parties and religious leaders, who the president said are sometimes peripherally in the issues. The launch came after the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue Summit that took place recently in Kampala. The inaugural iPod Summit, bringing together leaders of political parties with representation in Parliament, was graced by Democratic Party's Norbert Mao, Justice Forum's Osman Basalirwa, and Uganda People's Congress's Jimmy Akena. President Museveni has previously underlined that the significance of the dialogue is to promote prosperity as well as stability. His argument has also been that the involvement and inclusion of key stakeholders is equally crucial. In sports news, Jose Mourinho reportedly cried when he heard he had not been chosen as heir to Alex Ferguson's throne at Old Trafford 5 years on, having finally landed his dream job. Mourinho's United tenure also ended in tears. The axe finally fell on the Portuguese yesterday, an increasingly inevitable divorce as Mourinho fell out with senior squad members, blamed his superiors for a lack of backing in the transfer market, and oversaw a drastic deterioration in performances and results on the pitch. Sunday's 3-1 defeat to bitter rivals Liverpool, which left United 19 points off the Premier League leaders just after 17 games, proved the final straw. After David Moyes and Louis van Gaal, a third manager sacked in 4 years, suggests there is far more to be fixed behind the scenes at the world's richest club than a new name on the manager's door. Former club captain Gary Neville raged at a club rotten to the core when rumours over Mourinho's future fast circulated, and after the Liverpool defeats described United's board as so naive, it's unbelievable. But Mourinho did little to help himself, particularly in a short-lived third season, which has become an unwanted hallmark of his managerial career. His departure from Old Trafford came a day after the third anniversary of his sacking from a second spell at Chelsea, just 6 months after winning the title with the Blues. For the first time since leaving provincial Portuguese side for local giants Porto in 2002, Mourinho leaves a club having failed to win a league title. You're still watching New Vision TV, and now for Pearl of Africa series, we take a look at why the Ugandan giraffe is referred to as the Rothschild giraffe. Now, these are well known as the tallest animals in the world, measuring up to 6 meters in height. When fully grown, that is about 20 feet. Interesting about these animals is that they have 7 bones in their long necks as human beings, but that's not all. Their lifespan is equally similar to that of the human being. Today, we bring you more interesting facts about these animals as we explore more.
Uganda is among so many African countries that have quite a number of giraffes. Here at the Murchison Falls National Park, over 900 giraffes stay here. Many more are found at Kidepo Valley National Park and some in Lekenboro National Park. Even the Uganda Wildlife Education Center has 2 giraffes, which are basically for conservation and educational purposes. When fully grown, they measure up to 6 meters in height. Their weight goes up to 2,800 pounds, but the males weigh more than the females by several hundred pounds. However long the neck of a giraffe is, it has just 7 bones. The 7-bone feature is similar with that of a neck of a human being. These necks give them an exceptional height, enabling them to eat leaves and shoots located much higher on trees. But as they reach for the leaves, effort is exerted on the long tongues.
So your parents were here before?
Yes, I was.
Another major fact about giraffes is that they can go for months without drinking water, but they can get it from the leaves they eat, such as acacia. With this kind of feeding, they live up to 45 years, and when they are under captivity, it exceeds to 50 years.
Yesterday I posted that. So
Now for more Pearl of Africa stories, visit our website, which is www.newvision.co.ug. Our newspaper, The Sunday Vision, is also another home of adventures, so grab your copy every Sunday for Pearl of Africa stories.
And that's all we had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch more of your updates and more detailed stories when you go to www.newvision.co.ug. I am Lynn Komjisha.